said I shot a man in New York City. Now 4 men came down to interrogate me, shine a light in my face, and said I was guilty. I said now wait a minute, don't go so fast. Wait a minute now, why you talking this trash? What you're saying is nothing but a sham. I never hurt no one. I'm a God-fearing man, can't you see? I'm taming the wolf inside of me. Can't you see? I'm taming the wolf inside of me. And I am that I am on my way to blues heaven. I went out to Vegas, I played the blues. Downtown on Fremont Street, I even made the news. The lady from the paper said, I got a surprise for you. She gave me a reward for paying my dues. She sent me off to the hottest show in town. Said the showgirls there were the best around. Wait a minute. Now I took that ticket, went down to that place. A lady took me up front, she's grinning in my face. The dancers came down, pulled me out of my seat. Next thing I knew, I was on my feet. They took me on that stage for all to see and used me as a prop for their vanity. They sat me down and tied me to a chair. When I looked up, I saw 2,000 people out there. Those girls danced round, they were stripping down. They were really hot, but I was not. I was strong, I played along. I played it cool, I played the fool. The show went on and on and on, and the show went on and on and on. And now I'm free, I tamed the wolf inside of me. Can't you see? I tamed the wolf inside of me. And I am that I am. I am that I am on my way to blues heaven. The wolfman cried for the love of women. I'm crying out for what the soul is given.
Some finger-picking blues music, and Mr. Hostetler tells us the story of a musical sojourn and personal struggles as a young man growing up in an all-white town and much more. And here to introduce him and talk with us a moment is one of our guests for today, and her name is Karen Lawrence. Karen, come on in here and say hello.
David, hello. John,
how you doing?
Hello.
Good. Doing
so
good.
Glad to have you
that
here.
Was fun listening to that song. That was great.
Yeah, it was great for us too because it gave us a chance to catch some coffee because it's a 6-minute song, and we always ever since our radio days loved a 6-minute song because when we started in radio, the average length of a song we played was about 2:15, 2 minutes 20 seconds or something, and a 6-minute record was like a coffee break. But seriously, what a great song he did there.
Yeah. There's a lot of story in there, a lot of stuff packed in there, huh?
There absolutely is, and I thank you for bringing Fred to our attention. I'm going to let you introduce him to our listeners, and then we'll have a chat with him.
Well, it's an honor, and it's personal. Fred and I, I met Fred in 1978. If I can tell the little story.
Absolutely.
I met Fred in 78. He was to be the road manager for 1994, the band that I was in, and we were heading out on a big tour for the whole summer. And I'll tell you what, I think I just fell in love with Fred. Just what do you call it? What do you call that? Right away? Just blanked out.
Gotcha. Love at first sight.
At first sight, we became great friends immediately, and he became my personal friend, attendant. We were inseparable from that moment on for about 20 years. So we traveled down many kinds of roads together, musical career roads certainly. And as I told you, David, and you didn't know, so I don't think it's a secret. And most people, I think, that are our fans know that Fred and I were married for most of that 20 years. And we were just absolute best friends and inseparable. We had money together. We were dirt poor together. We we wrote lyrics. We did that. We did everything. So it was a long, wonderful, crazy journey. And we're still tight. He's still helping me with my stuff, because where
awesome.
I'm weak, he's strong. And he's very creative. I can say he's a great man. He's honest. He has integrity. If you can say that about your ex, I think you're saying something.
That is saying a mouthful. And here we are years later, making another chapter in the history of your relationship, both personal and music. Fred, that's quite an introduction to follow up on. Come on in here and say hello.
Fred,
well, thank you.
You're not supposed to hear all that.
But I know.
To hear all that.
Boy, I got to hear a mouthful there and more.
When did you ever know me not to have
that? I'll tell you.
I didn't know you were going to be there, Fred. Now I'm embarrassed.
How can you be embarrassed after all that time?
Fred, I love that song, Fred. The Fremont Street Vegas reference, that really got me, and I was dialed into that New York event. I hear that.
Fred, summarize for us, if you will, how that song relates to your personal biographical sketch.
Well, where to start on that one? I'll try to make it short. Because when I grew up there in Goshen, Indiana, up north, at night a WLAC would come up, which was a 40,000 clear watt, or whatever, 50,000, whatever it was. And I heard the music from down south, and, John Lee Hooker and Howlin' Wolf and all those people. So that's what the song is sort of, that's where the love for the blues came, and it's just, sustained me all these years. And then the sojourn in the song is starting out there at the beginning, and then going out from my small town to New York City, and then up to Los Angeles, and along the way, meeting so many great musicians and people, and I'm so fortunate in that. And it's they've given a lot to me, including Karen right there. she's taught me a lot. And we had a great time. And then I sort of went on a spiritual journey for 18 years, and then have reappeared back here in the United States about a year ago.
That's
sort of it.
It's quite a journey, and as for Karen Lawrence, Karen, you may feel a little self-conscious about the plaudits and heat on Fred, but I know you have received some too, because I was reading a review that Fred wrote of your Best of Live, and I don't recall him saying anything less than kind about you either. So I think it's a mutual admiration thing there. John Bon Jovial, you're sitting there just dying to get into this conversation. Jump on in.
Yeah, I mean Fred, that song, The Taming of the Wolf. I mean, wow, that is just really, really cool. I mean, a nice bluesy sound to it. And it is so obvious, the reference of, where your influences are coming from. And it's just nice to hear that this kind of tradition is being carried on in this age of auto-tune and hip-hop and all that. And to hear something that is truly, just reeks of Americana is just wonderful. And I don't really have a question per se, just kind of a compliment. Well done, sir.
Well, those are mighty kind words. I don't know what to say. I just went in and did it, and that was it. It's something I just had to say, and I wanted to get done, and then finally I got it done. So anything, I'm just glad a few people enjoy it, and appreciate it.
Yeah, and usually when you have a situation like that where the inspiration hits you, you just go in and do it. 1 take, 3 takes, just a minimal amount of work to get it done. Usually that's going to result in your best effort instead of overthinking it and overdoing it. And that's
a problem, yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. But I get the impression that it didn't take long for you to lay that down and do it successfully.
Well, I sat on the lyrics for a while, and then the time came, and I just went. Then the other part just started playing it, and it happened. Yeah, but that when you're by yourself working on stuff, that's difficult because that overthinking thing. And when you came out of a lot of layering, and how music is, it's up to I don't know how many tracks now.
I think that's one of the biggest things about one of the most beautiful things about American music, and I'm not downing indigenous music of other parts of the world, but American music, whether it's blues, soul, country, I think it reaches in and comes from the heart, the personal feelings of its writers and performers more than many other types of music. All music tells a story. Many of them are personal and also, generic to the country they're from or the society. But American soul, gospel, country, blues, it just seems to express from the heart better than most other types of music. Yeah. And I think you're also going to point up here one of the other things about American music that is so powerful is the fact that you can go from something so soulful and moving and so personal to something more commercial, like your new release, which we're going to be playing up here next. Tell us about You Don't Know What You Don't Know.
Oh, well, boy, that was I jumped into some social commentary. And, again, basing on, as you said before earlier in your conversation, unity has to come. We have to find a way back. And that's pretty much what this is about. We've got to do some thinking and work together and somehow arrive at some kind of a new way of doing things here again. It's that kind of time, I think. And so that's what the song is basically about.
John Bon Jovial?
Yeah.